Hello. In this video, we'll learn how to create a simple and effective worksheet-based form in Excel. This form uses two drop-down lists created using data validation and a command button inserted from the form controls available on the Developer tab. All input fields are regular Excel cells, styled to look like a form. When we add a record using this form, the data is written to another worksheet named Data. So essentially, we're using one sheet as the form and another sheet to store the submitted records. Every time you fill out the form and click the Add Record button, the information is copied to the data sheet, and the form is cleared, ready for the next entry. Let's get started. Open a new workbook. On Sheet 1, we'll first build the form and name it Employee Form. Our form will consist of 4 fields: name, department, joining date, and full-time status. We'll use column A for the labels and column B for the input fields. Now let's format the form to make it user-friendly. We'll bold the heading, add cell borders, and fill the input fields with a light color like pale yellow to indicate where users should enter data. This formatting helps the form stand out and improves the user experience. Now, let's add a button to our form. Go to the Developer tab. If you don't see it, right-click on the ribbon, choose Customize the ribbon, and enable the Developer option in the Excel Options dialog box. Click OK, and now the Developer tab should be visible. In the Developer tab, click Insert from a Controls group, and choose the button control. Draw the button on the sheet. The Assign Macro dialog box will pop up. Just close it for now, since we haven't written our code yet. Rename the button to Add Record and format it the way you like by right-clicking on it. Next, rename this worksheet to Form so it's clear that this sheet is for data entry. Insert another sheet, rename it to Data, and use it to store the records submitted from Form. On the data sheet, create headers in row 1. These headings will help us store each record in rows below, one after another. For example, row 2 will hold the first record, row 3 the next, and so on. Format the headers so they're easy to read, bold the text, adjust the font size, and maybe add a light background color. Now let's improve the form sheet. Instead of typing everything manually, we can add drop-down lists for some fields to make data entry easier. To do this, select cell B3. Go to the Data tab, click Data Validation in the Data Tools group. In the dialog box, choose List from the Allow drop-down. In the source box, type the department names separated by commas, then click OK. Now, when you click cell B3, you'll see a drop-down to choose from. Do the same for cell B5. Set up another list with the options Yes, No for full-time status. Now the form has text fields, cells B2 and B4, drop-down lists, B3 and B5, and a button. That's the basic structure of a worksheet-based form. Next, let's make sure users can only type in the form fields and not in the rest of the sheet. By default, all cells in Excel are locked, but the lock only takes effect when we protect the sheet. So first, unlock the cells B2 to B5. Right-click, choose Format Cells, go to the Protection tab, and uncheck Locked. Then protect the sheet by going to the Review tab and clicking Protect Sheet. Leave the default option checked. Protect worksheet and contents of locked cells. And under Permissions, allow only select unlocked cells. This way, the user can only interact with B2 to B5 and nothing else on the sheet. Finally, let's add the code that makes the button actually work. Without the code, the Add Record button doesn't do anything. Go to the Developer tab and click Visual Basic. The VBA editor will open. From the Insert menu, choose Module. A blank module will appear where we'll write our code. Let's create a macro to submit employee form data into our data sheet. I'll start by writing the subroutine named Employee Form. Inside this macro, the first line will transfer the values from the form into the data sheet. Let me explain this step by step. In VBA, we can interact with specific worksheets using the Sheets object. To refer to a sheet by name, we place the name in quotes. For example, here I'm referring to the sheet named Data. Now, this part of the code is used to find the next empty row in the data sheet. For example, if row 2 already has data, the code will automatically point to row 3. When we submit the next set of data, it will move to row 4, and so on. The resize property here is important. It adjusts the size of the target range. In our case, it makes the range 1 row tall and 4 columns wide, so that all 4 values from the form can fit neatly into a single row of the data sheet. This part of the code takes the values from the form sheet, specifically from cells B2 to B5, and writes them into the data sheet. The application, transpose function, flips the values from vertical to horizontal. That way, instead of filling them down a column, they're placed neatly across a single row in the data sheet. After saving the values, the VBA clears the form so it's ready for the next entry. That's done with the clear contents method, which simply removes the data inside the cells without affecting any formatting. Finally, a simple message box pops up to confirm that the form was submitted successfully, and that completes the employee form macro. It takes the values from the form, stores them neatly into the data sheet, clears the form, and then lets the user know the submission worked. Now let's go back to Excel. To make this code work, when you click the Add Record button, you need to link the code to the button. Remember, this code we just wrote is actually a macro. A macro is simply a small VBA program that automates a task in Excel. To assign it, right-click the Add Record button, choose Assign Macro, select Employee Form from the list, and click OK. Now the button is connected to the code. At this point, your form is fully ready. Each time you fill it out and click Add Record, the data will be added to the data sheet. Your new entries are always placed in the next empty row, so your existing data is never overwritten or compromised. That's it. If you found this tutorial helpful, please share this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video, where I'll show you how to find and edit your records using the same form.